week 19 since I've been connecting with people each week and asking them about them. And sometimes that's people I know and I get to ask them about things I already know about them. Or sometimes it's somebody I don't know. And this week is somebody I really didn't know other than they've got this wonderful smile. They wave as I go past them running along the waterfront. And I really just wanted to know more about them. So I asked them if I could ask them about them. And they said yes. So let's go meet a runner with a smile. This is Gabe. Gabe is not a common name.
No.
Is it short for something?
It is. It's short for Gabriel.
Okay.
I'm named after my grandfather. His name was Gabe, or his name was Gabriel.
Okay.
Female spelling, but pronounced male way.
Right. So what's the female and male spelling?
So double L for female and one
Okay.
L. So double LE for female, one L, EL for male.
There you go.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
One's Gabriel and one's Gabrielle.
And are they all shortened to Gabe? No, or Gabby maybe. Or is that different again?
Gabe's more the male version again, and Gabby or something like that is probably more the female version. There wasn't a lot around when I was growing up. Gabby's around now.
Now, one of the reasons I do this project is I get to ask people about what they do. And in your case, I actually have no idea what you do. So tell me what you do.
I work for federal government and I'm a training capability developer and facilitator. And I mainly do data literacy and data products.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did you get into that?
It was a really weird way. I worked in Australia for a while and they needed someone to do their entry-level training for new starters.
Okay.
And I was a facilitator and trainer there.
Yep.
And then I moved over to a project in a data division and they needed someone to train in a platform that we had there and they didn't have any trainers. And they were like, you can do that. So I was like, sure.
Excellent.
Had no data experience, didn't know what I was doing.
And enjoy it?
Love it.
Awesome.
Yeah, I really love it.
And you live near here?
I do. I live in Brackenridge.
And how long have you been around the area?
Probably 14 years.
Okay.
I lived in Townsville for a while and Lincoln was in the army, so my husband, but he passed away. So,
no.
So he passed away in 2018 from a brain aneurysm.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So, yeah.
That's tragic.
Yeah, it was tough.
Have you got children?
5. Yeah, so I've got 5. They range from 12 to 28.
Wow.
Yeah, I started young.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
What did Lincoln do?
He was in the army, so he was a soldier for a long time. And then when he got out of that, he was in youth justice. And then he suffered quite severely PTSD.
Okay.
So he was the stay-at-home parent.
Right. And so his passing came as a surprise,
Big
or was
surprise.
there was no...
Just dropped the kids off one day and didn't turn up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, one of the reasons I started this project was so then I could ask people I knew more about them and what they do, with the idea of then having some street cred, so I could just reach out to people I don't know and ask them about them because, there might be an element about them that I find fascinating. So I'm even now more fascinated in the element that drew me to you. And when I run along here in the mornings, you're often out here.
Yeah.
And you have the biggest smile. You're running out here in a place where people come to push through a pain locker or do something they don't want to do. And here you are waving and smiling every morning. So where does that come from? That's phenomenal.
I think just through kindness goes a long way. And you just don't know what people are dealing with every day. So I think that it's nicer to be kind and I don't know, I just like people to be happy, I guess. So,
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. But I think through life, you don't sweat the small stuff is one of the big lessons that we've learned. And so running helps with everything. For me and my family and friends and stuff like that. And it keeps me sane so that I can go and then do the day most of the time.
So tell me about what a typical week of running looks like for you.
So it would usually be Tuesday morning we do Bramble Bay, so Bramble Bay Raw. And then Wednesday, sometimes walking, sometimes running. Thursday morning, long run. Friday, again, it depends. I do a cycle class with one of my girls, so we sort of mix it up a little bit. Saturday morning, there's a long run or park run if I can get to it, and the sport. And then Sunday afternoon, we do Bramble Bay as well down here.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
And you said Bramble Bay Raw?
Yeah.
What's that?
So Bramble Bay Runners and Walkers.
Okay.
So I started Bramble Bay in 2018. So 6 years ago now. I started it off the back of my mum actually encouraged me to start running after I had my youngest, just for health and, to get out. And we started at Park Run actually, which was really cool. And then I noticed there wasn't really much in the way of community running groups that weren't for people that were scared to first start, that needed to get off the bat. And then also something that supported, I guess, the Indigenous community as well, linked to Indigenous. And there was nothing. His mum had type 2 diabetes and breast cancer survivor. So I wanted her to get out and move. I knew about the running programs through the Indigenous Marathon Foundation, which was set up by Rob DeCastella.
Okay.
And so through that, worked with them and then started Bramble Bay.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
And you're also involved in the park run here?
Yeah, so a park run director down here at Sandgate.
How long have you been doing that?
Oh, that would probably be 6 years as well, really 7 years.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Sandgate's a beautiful.
You can't run here and not keep coming back.
Yeah, and it's a good park run community. There's something great about, I think, the Sandgate running community, in general, because there's several different running groups down here, and we all just, it's nice to sort of work with each other and run with each other and connect.
And there's another group I've heard you mention before, the Deadlies.
Yeah, so that's Bramble Bay.
Right.
Yeah, so that's Bramble
is that like
Bay.
a nickname or?
Yeah, so we call ourselves Deadlies, so Deadly Runners sometimes, but we use Bramble Bay officially as our official name. Yeah, so all of our merch, because we love merch, is Bramble Bay.
Right.
Bramble
So
Bay
what's the Deadlies?
It just comes off the back of, so it's a word used a lot in the Indigenous community. It means good. So it's really good. So if that's deadly, it's really good. So,
right.
Yeah, so Deadly Runners really good. So I don't know if you've seen Deadly Choices. Deadly Choices is a program. It's a health initiative.
Okay.
Close the gap there. So it sort of supports that kind of process. And that's the good thing about the community. So Bramble Bay or Deadlies is about community, but for everyone. So one thing we found with Bramble Bay was that it's open to everyone. It's completely inclusive. It will always be free, very family orientated. So what we want to do is, what we found through it was that we actually started to create some connections, break down some barriers, misconceptions as well, I guess, for general public. Yeah.
Awesome.
People. Yeah, which is really nice.
I watched Dean's Incarceration Nation when it came out. It was really confronting for someone to watch that and go, my perception just changed.
Which is really impressive because a lot of people don't do that. I think we've missed a big opportunity to embrace culture and history here. If you look at other models, New Zealand's an example of trying to change that, and embracing that. So I think and it's normal with any change, resistance. So there's always resistance to change, regardless of what it is. I think people are scared.
Yep.
Media doesn't do a lot to help that though either. So,
I think for a lot of humans, we're not good at taking in new information and then resetting our view on the world.
Yeah.
We take comfort in having a position and not changing from it. That's not a great thing. It's just who we are. Rob DeCastella. Yeah. Did I say that right? Rob DeCastella.
Yeah.
He was up here recently.
He was here for we hosted the Raw Championships. Okay. So that's the running Raw Championships, which is, so Bramble Bay.
So there's more of you.
More of us. So
you're like a chapter of Raw.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. I don't want to say that we're the best, but
I felt it from here as you said that.
Then, yeah.
If the running shoe fits, I like that.
Yeah. So we hosted the National Raw Championships in June, which was awesome. So running groups from across the country, as far north as some of the islands, Torres Strait Islands, and then South Australia, out Perth, and some of the groups out in WA came in.
Yeah, wow.
It was like 120 runners, I think, in total that we hosted.
Okay.
So we ran a relay run down here, which was for all the champions of the day. And then on the Sunday, they were part of the Brisbane Running Festival. which is fantastic. So Rob is a great advocate for running, obviously. He's
Mm-hmm.
one of the best and he's a legend in that sense. But I don't think enough credit is given to Rob for all he does behind the scenes and what he does and how passionate he is about working with communities and making it a change. And running is one of the best ways to do it. It brings people together. So it doesn't matter where you're from. Running brings people together and you've all got that goal, quick as. So getting something done. He has a program which is the Indigenous Marathon program. So at the moment, our running here, Brooke, my middle daughter, is in that. So she's training for New York Marathon. He takes 12 runners over to do New York. So she brings them from zero to that. Yeah, which is exciting.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I think the training's starting to get a bit much for her, but it's part of the process.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're talking about the pain part of it.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. Look, running, I run with my girlfriend. Probably running changes lives, I think. And when I started Bramble Bay, I did it because, one, it's a community. I wanted somewhere safe, like a culturally safe space for my kids and family. But out of that, we created this running family that's Bramble Bay and then connected. So worked a lot with, I guess, make change through running is important. And it's not just running, it's walking.
So what's the future for you? Whether it's running, your running communities, your work, what's on the horizon?
So I'm on the Run Army board, and so Run Army is one of our big ones next year.
Okay.
So Run Army happens in Brisbane, and it's probably becoming one of the flagship 10Ks in the Brisbane city in April.
Okay.
So that's something that I'm on and working with, starting to really ramp up now because it's only 6-7 months away.
Okay.
So this is when it gets heavy, trying to build momentum. I guess also working with Atlas Events who do the Brisbane, Sunny Coast, Hobart and Cairns stuff. So hopefully I'll get to go down and the Hobart half. That's on the cards. And then we want to take Bramble Bay to Queenstown next year in November. So I don't know, it's a big task, but I think we can do it. And it's great. When we go to running events, there's probably 20 to 30 of us that go. It's just, they're the best time. Like the runs, but it's everything else. Yeah.
Thank you very much for chatting to me today.
It's a pleasure. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay.
What's your favourite running distance?
Oh, a half. I
Yeah.
love 21. Yeah.
That's common with people, isn't it? It's my favourite.
Yeah. Well, when I first started parkrun, I couldn't run 800 meters.
Yep.
I don't know how you went, but I just struggled. And I'd come down with the pram. Lachlan was only 2 maybe. And my mum, bless her, who's an awesome runner, you probably seen it down here. BZ makes a lot of fun of me because she's always beating me. She would run with the pram just so that I could run. And it took me so long to get to 4K and then 4K to 5. Just that
Right.
mental.
Yep.
And then I ran 5K and went, she just run it up. There was no rhyme or reason,
Yep.
stupidity, because that's kind of what I do. I'm like, this sounds like a good idea. And did it.
Yeah, wow.
One thing Rob says, and it really resonates, is that you don't get a lot of rat bags in running because it gets too hard. I think consistency and they turn up and they keep going and that sort of thing. It's character building because it's easy to give up.
Yeah.
Like it's easy to talk yourself out of going for a run, that putting your shoes on. Like the hardest, when I start, we do 0 to 5Ks sort of once a year and invite people along. When we start, I'm like, the hardest thing is putting the shoes on and getting out.
Yeah.
Always that. Once you're here, you start moving. Whether you run, walk, skip, jump, whatever, you start moving. But it's that getting out of the door that's.
I've got a saying that the hardest part of a morning run is the 8 meters to the front door.
So true.
Once you get that bit done.
Yeah.
Thank you.